What's up? Let me tell you guys a story today. It's fresh off my dome, right on the top of my head. Because yesterday, while I was waiting in the lobby for my transportation to pick me up, my daughter asked me how much older was her father from me. And I'm like, 1 year in real life, current or whatever, and 2 years as in school. She's like, how is that? I'm like, he's a year ahead of me in school. She's like, I would never date somebody that's a year older than me. That's just weird. but so I had to go into detail and explain to her, like, I was held back in high school and in early years of school, like elementary or something like that. And that's when she said her comment, I would never date anybody that's ahead of me in school or something. But so the story is like, imagine you're in your junior year in school. I had all my junior classes, but they had me in a sophomore dorm room because of, you know, how they make you do these community service hours. They said I didn't complete them, which is a total lie because I completed them and I signed them off and I gave them the notary on the papers that they told you to sign. I had to go over to the hall across the hall that was actual junior's room and give it to that teacher so it can be credited or whatever. She lost it. They made, you know, in order to, in your sophomore year, there's like, is it 15 or 20 or something like that hours that you need to do within your community that you can sign off, where you volunteer at the library or your church or whatever, and they sign it off. So remember how I said before that I was selling sandwiches at my church? So I had them sign that off a few times. That was some of the hours. I also would work in my school's library and sign that off. I also would, like, maybe, was it babysit or something? I don't remember. It was years ago. But I would sign that off. And then all those hours that got signed off, I took it from my folder and put it on the desk of where the junior's homeroom teacher was and gave it to her. She lost it. So when junior year came around and I was ready to do my junior year, I had all my junior classes, all the math, the science, the religion, because I was in the Catholic school, everything. But they had me in a sophomore homeroom. I had to sit with these. No. I couldn't even do my junior prom and my junior, like, field trips and things. Now, when it came around to Spirit Week and you do your homecoming thing, they had a way that if you wanted to get your class nomination, your 05, 04, whatever year you are, type sweatsuits, you could pay off the fee and give it to the same lady that lost my community service hours. So when you come in to school the day for Spirit Week or homecoming or whatever, you can wear your suit. She lost the check again. So what I have to do, I have to improvise, wear gym uniform, and like hand make 05 on it, and like make it known that I'm the junior. I'm not a sophomore. They're calling juniors to come down into the gym room. Technically, I'm supposed to wait till the sophomore homeroom digits are called. I forget what the homeroom number was. But no, I'm going down with the seniors, okay? I mean the juniors. I'm not a sophomore. I'm the only one in the whole class that, like, I had my maroon sweater on and the whatever the junior skirt was supposed to be, but they made me go back to the uniform place and get whatever the sophomores uniform was supposed to be. Or if I showed up in my junior year one, they would make me go into the basement where the guidance counselor was, and they had extra skirts and things that would be either in the lost and found, or just nobody wanted that skirt or something, and I would have to pick one. Pay them $2 to borrow it for the day. Like, I have, man, all these twists and turns and T's you have to cross and I's you have to dot just to accommodate what everybody else is supposed to. No, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of being watered down, and I'm tired of having to do things everybody else's way. I'm real. I make my children follow the rules because I don't want them in the office or whatever like that, but when they come home and they ask me a question, I'm going to tell them the correct answer. I'm not going to hide anything at all from them because I was lied to. My whole life is basically a lie. Like, so the story is like, okay, I did my freshman year, I did my sophomore year, and somewhere in between sophomore year you have to do enough community service hours that they can credit it for your junior year, and you can complete the rest once you get into your junior year before you go to your senior year. The fucking lady lost the transcript, or whatever you call it, when you sign off. The authority, whoever building you go into and do your volunteered hours, and they sign it off to accredit that you were here. You're not lying about being here. I wake up the next day after getting the final hours. I go into school. I give it to her personally. I don't put it on her desk. I give it to her. She loses it. Like, make it look as if I didn't do it when I know I personally did it. Because the building you go into to do your hours, the adult has to sign it. Then your adult that you live with also has to sign it. It has to be 3 signatures. Mine, your adults, and the people of whatever library or church, or maybe if you even go into the hospital or something and you volunteer, you give people candies that feel like the diabetic or whatever. I had junior health class I had junior English reading, whatever you call it, junior religion because I was Catholic, junior, I was in band. So I wasn't intermediate band. I wasn't in the beginning because I already had it like a year and a half. I had all my credits. But no, they're going to sit me in a sophomore homeroom because of the fucking lady that lost my stuff. Like, make me wear a sophomore's uniform and sit in a sophomore's homeroom. I didn't pass. Also, they didn't consider me a junior because I didn't pass driver's ed course because I was 16 that year. I took the class. I made the nomination to make the class because I was 16 that year. But I also was working. Remember, I was saying, I didn't tell you this story yet. You don't know this story. It's a new story. I was working at my church, not selling the sandwiches, but in the office where if they had Bible study or they had flowers delivered to the church, I would buzz the people in. I was like the secretary. I would make the church bulletins and stuff. So I worked during high school years. I got a paycheck for that. So sometimes when it came to after school activities like driver's ed, I couldn't attend. So a lot of the credits they wouldn't account me for, even though I was in the actual building and I was reading the book and I did the virtual reality thing behind the wheel to see if I knew how to drive type things. I didn't take courses at another school and drive on an actual road because I was a Catholic school. They didn't have driving courses at school per se. Like, I've been ducking and diving in trying to make my life correct and perfect per se for other people's for so long. Like, so long. It's never good enough. It's multiple stories in this video. Just listen to it. I don't know how I'm going to title you guys. I'm waiting on Junior to come off his bus. It originated from my daughter asked me how old was I compared to her father. How many years apart are we? I'm like 1 real year because I'm 37 and he's 38. I was born 1986. He was born 1985. Same month, but his is June 10th and mine is June 22nd. So a year and maybe some weeks, but 2 years according to school because of that stupid crap. Everything that a normal 37-year-old person is supposed to know how to do, I know how to do. Okay. Good enough to survive. My brain works fine. It's because I don't do it your way or your professionalized, micromanaged into a perfect box type way. Doesn't make it, I'm doing it wrong. I'm not going about it the correct way. How is a person supposed to be positive when everything is so like, ugh. You didn't do it like that, so I'm gonna mark you down. A few. I'm judging you. Tells you about a lot of yourself if you're judging me on my outlook. When you're living through it and not really living through it, you just want to tarnish it as much as you can. Well, guess what? You can't make it any worse than it already is. It's it. That's all. What I'm able to do, I will do. What I'm not able to do, I'll try my best to conquer it, but it's not going to be your way. And I will make a way out. When I'm happy, I'm happy. When I'm sad, I'm sad. If I'm depressed and lonely, I'm going to be that. I'm not going to be this perfect little square box mime playing charades to figure out what the fuck you want. I have enough of that. I'm trying to figure out my own life and piece together what's going on in my own brain while helping my children survive. That is a battle every day. I don't want memories from whatever happened in the past. Get over it. I moved on. I moved on, but it's in my brain. It's not going to go away. Especially when it happens to you so young. But it was so... It tugged at my heart so graphically. I don't know the words that I want to say, but it was like a core memory. Any words that you say that hints at whatever the memory is going to resurface it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. My childhood was not what it was supposed to be. I had adults in my household, but for what? I grew up myself. I taught myself a lot of things. Especially with being in a Catholic school and Catholic church. Especially. Not that I wanted to be in a public school either, because there was a lot of like violence, but I taught myself a lot of things. Most of the things that I know today, I taught myself. I know what to do with my kids and how to get my kids okay and secured because I raised my brothers. I had to cook for them. I had to learn how to clean because I had to clean my clothes, my two brothers' clothes, my aunt's clothes. I know how to mop because I had to mop that big ass floor. We had a living room that conjoined in with a dining room that we would use for holidays. The living room would keep the big, fresh Christmas tree that I had to water and sweep up the pines every 2 to 3 days. I was an adult as young as 11 or 12. I didn't physically have a child myself, but I took care of that big ass mansion house. 3 floors of a house. It was a basement, a first floor, a second floor, and a third floor. And if you go on the third floor, you can pull down the thing for an attic, but nobody lived up in the attic. We would just store things up there if there wasn't enough space in the basement to store things. Like, it's not good memories. Not for me, anyway. My mom passed away in that house. I was the one cleaning that house. I've been cleaning for years. I know how to. Just I don't want to because I've been the main one doing it. It's not my first time ever going to the laundromat. I didn't learn how to do the laundromat at that specific house, but like when I first had Michaela, I had to go to the laundromat, and I taught myself how to use the machine during those years when she was younger. Because whenever our machine would break down at Mike's and them parents' house when Kayla was a baby, we would have to load up everybody's laundry and go up to the laundromat. So yeah. I got stories, and they vivid in my brain. And I'ma pop in every now and again and tell them to you. They might not be as long as this, because I might not put all 3 or 4 of them in together like this. But I'm going to cut you guys off now. Some school is trying to call me or something for some reason, so